Okay, hello again. This is after the first battle. I put in my men. Um, Maybe I should have shown that too, but I like to just went for veterans with Loomis here. I couldn't afford more, and then I filled up these two brigades. The reason why this one is not completely full is because I lost an efficiency point, so I kept it on 1449 to not lose it. Fill up scales here, the 10 guns, and yeah, I've used organization as a point. Let's get to do this risk call here. It's like a supply mission, or not supply mission, like defending supply depots. And the AI has a bit more men than me, but I'll show you a tactic where you can sort of divide and conquer. You hold up the right flank, and then you defeat basically the left flank, or hopefully anyway. That's how it will go. Let's see how it looks like. So the rebels are about to overrun the supply depots, and the job is of course to stop them from doing that. So the Confederates will come from there and from this bridge where we have a skirmisher unit, and eventually we'll get reinforcements. Yes, okay. They come from here. Okay then. We have these two brigades at first. Actually, I think I'd rather just have the manpower at first. And yeah, that's it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send skirmishers here from woods. Gonna have woods reinforced here, combined division on Richards. Have a big brigade here, and then yeah, you'll see how it goes from there. So we'll send out skirmishers and have woods combined division, and then send woods over here. And these are gonna sacrifice this unit perhaps. We'll see how that goes, if we can delay them as long as possible, if that's what it takes. You can see the victory conditions up here. We need to hold both the forts, otherwise we get a draw, so that's definitely the goal. Can send up skirmishers here to delay just a little bit. I'll get into position. And sending Walton out here into the woods to not really hide him, but more to try to get on the flanks of Law coming in here. And no AI units have shown up over here yet, so we can. Okay, there's another brigade there, a larger one, and we also have brigades moving in from here, if I remember correctly. I clicked the space on this guy, by the way, to make him hold, to keep him in place, and they're going to fall back the skirmishers. This is actually a useful unit over here to get on the flanks, move quickly back and forth. Just need to remember, if you combine division, they'll leave the entrenchment here. The reason Perry is here is to provide close support for anyone charging in. So Walton covers the left, Perry covers the right, and when these guys come in, he can turn and deal with them. So he's sort of at a turning point, if you'll forgive the bad sense of humor I have. Yeah, and actually I like to use Edwin here to capture the enemy supply wagon if I can get away with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. But let's see if the AI can't be lured into battle here. Okay, here comes Law, and the Confederates are coming in from here, charging across the bridge. It's not as easy as to hold them up as it used to be. Clicking F here a lot to have my skirmishers fall back, and just generally trying to be as annoying as possible to Evans here, getting on the flanks, falling back. This buys us, hopefully, the 30 minutes we need to get the brigade coming from here into the fort to defend it. Okay, and you can see here that we're really holding up the Confederates. They haven't crossed the bridge yet. Some of the units, and Evans here is having a little trouble dealing with the skirmishers. And Walton is holding up the left, and no units have come through the center yet. Once we get all our units on the field, it sort of stabilizes from there, but until then, we just need to hold out. Let's see if we can go distract Law here a little bit from the flanks. I'm not sure where the other brigade is. It's probably hiding in here somewhere. And you can see our, like, my large brigade here is doing a lot of damage. So it's quite useful to combine division here. And this is where Perry is covering the right flank. If we didn't, the AI could swing this way and probably charge into the fort and drag me out of it. Okay, and we're being charged over here again. So we're holding up about 2,700 men here with 200. But I guess that's what Buford did at Gettysburg, right? He used a small force to hold him up until the reinforcements could get there. And that's really what the goal is. Just gonna fall back, make sure the AI has something to shoot at always, not making it too easy. And if possible, you can actually get them to funnel, or you can funnel their troops this way, so they don't go for the unoccupied force, and they go instead for where your troops are strongest. When the cannons come in, you can place them here and get rather good fire this way and this way. As they come into the open here, and they'll be protected sort of from the flank by the fort and by Perry here, who's holding the key point. And we're really just bugging these guys that they're trying to charge the skirmishers. We're gonna fall back more. And we could really use that brigade coming in now. It's getting a bit tense over here, and Walker has figured out the other fort is unoccupied. Yeah, it's charging here, but Walton should be able to just hold his ground and not be too overwhelmed. Gotta remember both sides of the field. The skirmishers here might disband at some point if the unit is too small, and we just need to make sure Walton doesn't slip through the lines, gets to the gap or the fort before Loomis actually comes in to defend it. Okay, we're still holding out the Confederates here. 200 men against 2,700. Someone should write like their legend, I suppose. And Walker is making another run for it, but now the reinforcements are coming in. Rebels are too many. Yes. Also, another thing about Perry here is that you can use him to sort of go back and forth between the fort, since he's in a central location. So if this is under pressure, you can easily get him here. And the cannons here can also shoot this way. Actually, I didn't mention that, but they'll be able to get into position to shoot this way and support this fort. So in this way, you use your outnumbered troops to their optimally, right? Because they can shoot in all directions, so to speak, while the enemy has a bigger parameter to cover and needs to gain local superiority, and you can make that more difficult for him. So I need to be a little bit worried about this brigade here, because Ransom is a 1-star brigade and they do quite well in melee. If we can just get some flanking shots on this guy here, that would be super duper. I'm trying to fall back, but it's a little difficult to fall back units once they are fully committed to melee. I'm actually gonna have this guy run. See, we really need to stop B from getting there now. See if we can actually get some skirmishes from here. Have Perry cover Walker, and yeah. Okay, so Walton is actually falling back now. That's not excellent. Perhaps earlier I should have treated him more towards the cover of the fort, because Harland here is holding out pretty well. but I don't think we'll lose the whole brigade, so we should be fine. And the cannons actually need to be deployed. Being distracted here slightly by my talking. Right. And see if we can go chase down a supply wagon. I like to have them not shoot while doing it because they might destroy the supply wagon in the process. You can press H to not shoot. H for hold, maybe. And Loomis has gotten into position to the fort. So now you can see the right is actually going to be under lower pressure, so we're going to see if we can reinforce that position. And this is where I guess the internal lines, you could call it, can come into action, where we have less men but better support all around for our men. And Walton here can move into the safety of the fort here. And we should actually get these two skirmish units within support range of the fort now, since we have the fort secured. I'm gonna run him out of there. I think he's mounting up for an attack on the fort. You can see he's got troops all around it, and I think there's another brigade over here somewhere. Don't quite remember, but I kind of sense it somehow. Okay, there's the supply wagon. Oh, and unguarded cannons. That's the best target. So maybe we'll be able to do quite a bit of damage with a little cavalry run here. Let's see how it goes. We can put shoot back on since we're gonna charge this. Don't want to get engaged into too long firefights. The AI has better veterancy than me on these troops. You can see B here has 1 star. So going into longer firefight is not good. You want to lure them in, get on the flanks, do damage to their morale. And now we have cannon support too, so we sort of have all the cards now. And we can take out their their cannons maybe. Okay. So now Perry's in support of this fortification here, which otherwise might get under pressure since the AI has 3 brigades moving in on it. But what the AI does is it will evaluate its chances to attack a position much like a real commander would. So if you leave a position weak, it will attack, but here it's saying, okay, we have 2,200 men here, cannons, etc. So it will not engage as much as it otherwise would have if we didn't move in support. So it's not that the AI doesn't want to attack, but it's evaluating now that it can. Yeah, which is probably true because, I mean, it has, okay, 4 brigades actually, so it has a bit more men than I thought. And it's trying to get around the flanks, but even though the skirmishers now are down to 140 in total, they can still harass from the flanks and do damage. These have a little extra range than sort of real units as well, so they can be used to flank more easily. And we took out both their cannons over here, so it's just perfect. The only thing to worry slightly about if Harlan here gets into a longer firefight, he might run out of ammo. This is where I like to capture the enemy supply wagon. I am usually cheap on my supplies. I like to go for as little as possible. You can see my supply wagon is already empty. I prefer buying weapons and cannons and officers instead. And where did that supply wagon go? It's over here. So let's see if we can chase it down. And the AI is actually he's trying to slip around my lines now. So if I let him, then he can attack this fortification from multiple directions. But since Perry now also can swing this way, if I needed him to, and I have Walton here to support, I'm keeping all my my doors closed to the forts. And Loomis is not taking that much damage in here. He should be fine for the rest of the game. There's about an hour left of game time. See, this is our cannons now can swing this way. Since there's a brigade coming in here, let's see if we can get them to shoot on ransom here. Getting into a bit protected firefight here. I wonder if we can take out Johnston, that would be neat. It's not that easy to take out a corps commander, but I think if you can get into melee with it, should be over for him. And again, we're sending in troops against a lone unit. We're not going directly at him. We're instead using cannons. We're using the flanks here. I know it's only 80 men, but still, to make sure that not too much damage is done to our men. Let's see if the supplies even make it back to camp. I'm going to speed it up now for the rest of the game. I don't think anything dramatic is going to happen from now on. I'd hope to get a rear shot on what's it called, ransom here, yeah. Oh, there's the brigade there. I think I am gonna save my veterans and just move in the rookies here instead to the fortification. Have to be ruthless as a commander sometimes and realize, okay, your veterans are more expensive. Eventually he'll have better weapons as well, and you want to reserve the veterans for key moments in battle where no other unit is going to hold down the line for you. And if you fall back, you're in risk of losing either the battle, your whole army, or something similar. And Walker can now turn around here and go counter B coming in. So that's really excellent, having troops here in the center of your position to swing back and forth this way, to get on flanks of units coming in like that. I mean, Harlan is strong, but if he gets charged by, I think there are 6 brigades here now, then he will fall back and lose the battle. So you have to keep swinging troops to where they're most needed, and you're just gonna finish it right away. So we did a bit better than the AI. We're not as outnumbered, I think, as the introduction told us, and has some promotions. Loomis got to be Lieutenant Colonel, and Kelly Watson also got to be Colonel, so that's great. And we captured some weapons. Don't think supplies are added to your supplies, which is something that maybe you should take a look at. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching again, and see you next time.